The U.S. Recent election highlighted key democratic practices that Africa can learn from. The elections witnessed high voter engagement with diverse demographics actively participating, emphasizing the importance of accessible voting. The smooth, transparent vote counting process demonstrated effective system for maintaining trust in election outcomes. Additionally, candidates accepted results without violence, underscoring the importance of peaceful transition. How can Africa improve its own processes from the just concluded U.S. elections? To unravel that, we're joined by Professor Etse Sikanko from the University of Media Arts and Communications in Ghana. Good evening, Prof. Share with us what specific aspects of the U.S. election process could Africa or even, African nations adopt or learn from to improve electoral transparency as well as public trust?
Counted in a very credible way and declared is something that we can learn from, because a lot of times the more there are delays, the more people tend to be anxious and the more it gives room for many other things to be done. Secondly, the opportunities provided for inclusivity for a lot more people to vote. The mail-in ballots, the absentee ballot system was really a good way for many more people to vote, especially those who were not going to be able to come in to vote on election day. So inclusivity was a very big issue. But also, if you look at the campaign, the media was a major part of the process. There was research, the polling, opportunities for citizen participation, the opportunity for citizens to air their views and to be involved in the process. It was a very close process, a very civil process, and so these are some of the things that we could get from it.
Well, talking about inclusivity, just to reference some challenges we may be facing here in Nigeria, we've often hear people complain about people with disability being not given that chance or being disenfranchised from voting. How do you think Africa as a continent can ensure total inclusivity when it comes to elections?
Yeah, so definitely there are very serious challenges that people face when exercising their right to vote. And this is a good time to take a look at some of those challenges, especially when it comes to people who are disabled, people who for the work or other reasons they cannot be available to vote on election day, exploring mail-in ballots, who can sit in the comfort of their home and then send in their mails. That provides a good opportunity for them. There are many people who also go there and have to stand for long hours, and for health reasons, there are some who cannot go through that process. So I think that expanding the right to vote, making it more easier for people to register to vote is one, making more opportunities available even physically, or the centers, expanding them are also another great way to get people to participate, and also improving the civics within our community, getting more people to care about this enough to be committed to the process, increasing the political socialization and the civic awareness in political activities is another thing that can help to make and improve, enhance democracy on the continent.
I know you touched on sensitization, raising awareness about elections upcoming in different countries, but then beyond sensitization of the people, which could be the role of national orientation agencies in different countries, what role do independent electoral bodies play in ensuring fair elections, and how do you think African governments can strengthen these institutions?
Yeah, the electoral bodies are a very critical and pivotal institution to the conduct of elections. We've seen in African countries, some bodies really do a very good job at making sure that they organize free and fair elections. We've seen that happen in Kenya, we've seen that happen in Ghana, in many other countries. Botswana just swore in presidents. And so I think that there is the need for objectivity and fairness in the conduct of independent electoral bodies, non-politicization, non-partisanship. There should be transparency, improved communication. In Ghana, the EC has made sure that they involve the media in a lot of what they do. And so I do think that that's one way. Increasing transparency, improving communication is one way through which we can ensure legitimacy of the process, bring confidence in the process, and then it will lead to less conflicts and less doubts about the credibility of the election.
Well, you may agree with me that sometimes within the African continent, giving up power may seem to be a tough call for so many African leaders. How important is a peaceful transition of power, and what can African leaders do to foster a culture of acceptance of election results?
Yeah, sorry, I need to go now, but what I'll say is that the peaceful transfer of power is a very important thing when it comes to democracy. It's one of the main reasons that has led to a lot of conflict in Africa because presidents usually do not want to leave after their term of office. And so it comes from the political culture, the importance of increasing the civic awareness, political education, to make sure that people are able to subscribe to those democratic ideals. But of course, we did see in the US that there was a challenge there too, because Donald Trump never accepted the results of the past election. He never said whether he would accept the outcome of the election if he did not win. And so they even have their own problems. It's a problem that cuts across the globe. And it's very important that political literacy levels are increased in order to make sure that we have less and less of this happening. Because once people do not want to leave power, people do not want to transition or abdicate, it's a very big problem.
Well, thank you so much for making our time to speak with us. Professor Etse Sinkako from University of Media, Arts and Communications in Ghana. Many thanks indeed for your time.
Thank you very much. Pleasure to be with you.